That opening statement is going to be critical to the engagement of your audience for the rest of the video.
If you've got a really good story, it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or 12 minutes, people are going to stick around and watch it.
There is going to be a decision made within that first 5 to 15 seconds about whether your viewer is going to continue to watch your content. That opening statement is going to be critical to the engagement of your audience for the rest of the video.
Traditionally, actors are what you would use in any kind of scripted drama, feature film, and anything that's scripted, really.
The big trend right now is using real people. Other options as well are experts, expert voices, influencers, and consumers.
And how do you pick the right one for your video? So I think the first thing you really got to drill down into is what's the message and who's going to be the right person to tell that message, because it's really important that your audience actually relate to the person that they're seeing on screen.
Audiences are so sophisticated. Our film language is so good, because we watch so much. That means that if you're going for scripted, it needs to be really well scripted and it needs to be really well performed, because that's what we're used to. We know what bad writing and bad acting looks like. You know that feeling when you've watched an one of those info commercials, and it's all kind of scripted and the sales pitch, and you just kind of go, it doesn't feel real. And then sometimes consumer voice videos are really good though, because people are just speaking in their own words and communicating in a way that you may not have communicated about your own brand. And I think that comes back to the messenger and the authenticity. They're really key considerations.
Let's just walk through these steps of how to create a script. First of all, you're got to pick your audience, who you're trying to talk to, what duration. How long should your video be?
It depends. And it depends on what you're trying to achieve and which platform you're going out on. Often the best solution is to create a variety of versions of different durations. Versioning videos is cost effective and it gives you the maximum opportunity to make the most of a video communication.
I always am a really firm believer in that if you've got a really good story, it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or 12 minutes, people are going to stick around and watch it. And then you can do exactly what you're saying. You can carve it all up for the different platforms and just have something really engaging people are going to want to see. Know your audience, know where they're at, know the platform, do the research on the platform, what durations are working. Just craft really good content. I think at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to.
Cross promote. There's not one ideal duration, and the best way to cover yourself is to create great content and version it so that you can make the most of all of these fantastic communications opportunities across all the social networks where your audience are, and then driving them back to your key platforms with your killer content, because that's what's going to make you stand out.
I think one of the biggest barriers people have to creating video content for their company or whatever it is they're doing is that they just don't want to be on camera.
Yeah.
And I've fallen into that mistake myself. And I think a big part of that is overthinking the fact that you're on camera. You've got to step back from it and think, what is the message you're trying to tell people? Why is that important? And why is video the right way for you to be telling that message? You're the expert in what you do. So you need to be talking from that place of understanding what your topic is, why you're communicating it, and focusing on that. Not worrying so much about whether you say too many times, or whether because there's all kinds of editing tricks that we'll go into as well that can really help overcome those. So you don't have to be perfect on the first take.
Some people write a script and memorize it and then try and remember it on camera. Almost never works because it's an acting skill. This is what actors do. They're brilliant craftspeople. But it doesn't come naturally to people who are not actors. Remembering lines and being able to deliver them in a natural way, it's a gift.
Just think about yourself trying to remember something. Where do your eyes go? You instantly, your eyes roll. And it's a natural thing. Everybody does it.
I'm trying to remember. What was the next thing?
So your eye line looks weird on camera because you're trying to recall. It's memory recall. And as soon as you go to that, if you're not a professional actor who's got all the tricks of the trade and years of experience in how to do that, it's going to feel clunky and weird, and you're going to be stressed, and then you're not going to enjoy yourself.
That's another hack, guys. Get as few people in the room when you are filming as possible. You know, you only want the bare essentials there. I mean, today Sue and I are doing this podcast. There are exactly 2 people in the room, Sue and I. That's it. Like, they're not always possible. You're often going to need a crew for good reason.
Yeah.
But keep it to a minimum. You don't want a huge audience there when you're trying to perform something on camera.
And you know what, with everything that we've just said, if all you've got's an iPhone or a web camera, don't not do it. Just use the best of what you have available to you and do the best that you can. And what you put out is still going to be better than not doing it all.
Yeah, a lot of the same tips apply, you know, no matter how big or small the profile of the kit is.
Yeah. And I think the key thing that we haven't really drawn on here, but is so critical to any communication, specifically video as well, is the end call to action. What do you want people to do once they've seen your video? Because if you don't ask people to do something, they'll just click away and they're gone. You've got to know what you want them to do, and you've got to entice them to do it.
Is it buy? Is it give? Is it share? Is it get in touch? You know, it could be anything, but you need to know what it is and you need to make sure that you say it.
We'd love to know what you thought. We'd love to know if you have questions, because we can actually answer those questions in future podcasts or videos. So please leave comments and, let us know what you want to know more about.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there are any other traps that you're worried about, or
tell us your funny experiences, because I love hearing people's stories.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Look forward to hearing from you soon.
Till next time.
Bye.
Welcome to the Moonshot.